It's time to take you through this week in Nicholls Athletics as we bring you the best of Colonel sports from Nicholls State University. This week in Nicholls Athletics is presented by State Farm Insurance. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state with State Farm Insurance.
Welcome to This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance. I'm your host, Mike Wagenheim. It's that time of year. College baseball has arrived. Coming up in today's show, we preview the Colonel's season. We'll also introduce you to the newest members of the football coaching staff. We tip off today's program, though, with Colonel Hoops. The Nicholls men's basketball team came into last Saturday's rematch against Lamar feeling good. Though the Cardinals had routed the Colonels in Beaumont just 2 weeks earlier, Nicholls had won 2 of 3 since, with the lone loss coming in overtime on the road. Now Nicholls had Lamar on their home floor in Thibodaux. The Cardinals, winners of 4 straight by an average of over 20 points per victory, had a chance to clinch a spot in the Southland Conference tournament, while Nicholls looked to climb back into the top 8 of the standings. Colonels working around the perimeter here. Sam McBeth setting up Dantrell Thomas for the top key 3. Nicholls striking first. Nothing would drop for Lamar, though, early on. The Cards sunk just 1 field goal in the opening 12 minutes. Stan Brown finally fouled here, showing some frustration afterward. Lamar ice cold from the floor to begin play. Thomas with a backdoor bounce here for Shane Reillier, who jumps it out to Jeremy Smith. He connects from 18 feet. This is part of a 12-0 run for Nicholls. 8 minutes in, the Colonels are up double digits as Thomas strips Donley Minor and leads the Colonels on the break to finish and foul. Colonels shot a blistering 62% in the opening half. Trevon Lewis, a strong candidate for Southland Rookie of the Year, comes off the bench and denies 3 Lamar attempts in the course of just 3 minutes. He was relentless. Nicholls ended up blocking 5 shots on the afternoon, and Trevon getting it done on the other end of the floor as well. Lyndon Smith high to Lewis on the feed. He outmuscles Charlie Harper for the layup. Midway through the half, Nicholls is up 22-6. Lamar down 18 before Anthony Miles connects on the 3 here. Nicholls forcing everything outside. Lamar scored just 16 points in the paint. Late first half, lead is 15. Nicholls missing from the field. Devon Lamb boards it, but he slips, and Lyndon Smith Hyde is Johnny on the spot. He lays it in. The Colonels scored 21 points off of turnovers, but the Cardinals score the last 7 points of the half. Miles splits 2 defenders, spotting Brandon Davis, who knocks it down. Nicholls up 35-25 at the break, but Lamar with a bit of momentum. Opening minute of the second half, Cardinals push it. The outlet to Davis, who shovels to Lamb. The Colonel lead is down to 7. Colonels stop the bleeding finally here as Smith enters to McBeth out for Thomas. He goes baseline on Osa Ebamwani and throws it down. Thomas with his 3rd 20-point effort in the last 2 weeks. Lamar hanging around, under 14 to go. Miles gives it up to Mike James, spinning away. Good touch on the baseline. James, though, struggled in this one. He registered 14 points below his season average. Nicholls going 4 minutes without a bucket. Brown posting up on McBeth there, gets the entry and backs his man down. Lamar's within 3 points with 9 minutes left. Now the Colonels counterpunch. McBeth creates a turnover. Thomas headed the other way, dishing to Lewis for the score. Trevon scored 17 points in just 22 minutes of action. Nicholls starting to pull away now. McBeth freed up on the off-ball screen by Chris Talkington, pops out and drops the 3. An 11-1 Colonel run puts him up by double digits. Colonels go inside out. Lewis to Brian Hammond and across to Seatalk for the bonus ball. Lamar would not come close again. The Colonel bench outscored their counterparts 26-4. Late in a 9-point game, Colonels avoiding the foul, making Lamar chase them down, and then great ball movement. Lewis ends up with the dunk. Nicholls shoots 55% from the field. Lamar had shot 49% or better in each of their games during their win streak. They knocked down just 31%. Back on Saturday as Nicholls wins it 72-63. The Colonels sit at 8-16 overall. They're 4-8 in the South and currently in 8th place, but are getting hot now at the right time. They'll step out of conference hosting IUPUI in a bracket buster game today at 3:30. Then they'll resume conference play against Central Arkansas on Wednesday evening at Stoford Gym. Now, the Nicholls women's basketball team took on the Lady Cardinals of Lamar in Beaumont last Saturday. The Colonels were looking for a regular season series sweep and their 3rd consecutive victory overall. We take you to the Montaigne Center. Nicholls behind 6 early in this one as the Colonels get ready here against Lamar, looking for the series sweep. Sumar Leslie with the drive and the kick to KK Babin for the quick trigger 3. Leslie here with 5 helpers on the day, this time to Leanne McCarthy for the 15-footer. It's 11-5 Lamar, though, as they got off to the hot start. Babin penetrating baseline spots Jenny Nash across the court for the long-distance connection. Nash was a hero of the previous contest against Stephen F. Austin, hitting the game-winning shot. Midway through the half now, Colonel's down 9. Leslie feeding Jasmine Hoskins. Jazzy scores it in the low post. She had 10 points. But Lamar improves the lead to double figures. McCarthy dishes to Babin for the baseline J. KK would help keep Nicholls hanging around. Babin toying with the defense here. Steps back and chucks up the bonus ball. She went 5 of 9 from beyond the arc and racked up a game-high tying 17 points. Alicia Allen here to Babin for another 3-ball to pull the Colonels within 9 in the final minute of the half. Allen here with a helper to Babin again. Nicholls goes into the break, down 36-30, but the Colonels would go cold down the stretch. They climbed within 2 of Lamar midway through the second half, but shot just 29% after the intermission and fall by a final of 70-52. Following that setback, Nicholls falls to 13-11 overall, 6-5 in conference. They're tied for 5th place in the league standings. The Colonels play host to Texas San Antonio this afternoon at 1 o'clock. Coming up later on in the show, we'll speak with senior guard Sumar Leslie. Got some baseball and football news coming up. Stay with us. You're tuned in to This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance.
There goes Dwayne's car. There goes Dwayne's house. And there goes Dwayne.
Man, that thing does not like Dwayne.
State Farm's got you covered.
In Lockport, call James Matassa. And in Homa, call Renee Carricker.
Get to a better state.
Welcome back to This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance. The Colonel baseball team was a Cinderella story of the Southland Conference last season, needing to sweep McNeese State in the last series of the regular season just to qualify for the league tournament. The Colonels did just that. Their heart-racing 10th-inning victory on the final day sent the team to San Marcos, Texas, where Nicholls upset #1 seeded Texas State for the 2nd straight year and started the postseason 2-0. The eventual champion Bobcats would come back to bounce Nicholls on the final day of the tournament, but the 8th-seeded Colonels made a statement. They can compete with the league's best. Now the Colonels look to take things a step further. Ashley Bull has more.
After advancing to championship Saturday at last year's Southland Conference tournament, the Nicholls baseball team entered the 2012 season with even higher expectations. A dramatic home stretch catapulted the team into the postseason, and within 2 wins of the NCAA regional berth, and now head coach Seth Thibodeau believes the Colonels are poised for a true breakthrough campaign. Thibodeau was impressed with the fortitude shown by his club late in 2011. He hopes the success they tasted in the final month will leave them wanting more.
Last season was, we finished strong. We wanted to play our best baseball at the end, and I think we did. We got a little unfortunate at the end of the tournament there in the semifinals. Ran out of gas there against Texas State, but played really good baseball down the stretch, which is the most important thing to see as a coach during the season. We battled some injuries early in the season, so we didn't get off to the start that we wanted to in the league, but it didn't matter because of the way we played down the stretch.
Pitcher and co-captain Brad DeLotte, a junior entering his 4th season with the team, believes the 2012 Colonels will benefit from having a strong, experienced nucleus in place.
I say if we were lacking anything last year, it was like a core group of guys who have been here for a while, and I feel like this year that's not a question because you have myself, Blake Bergeron, and Seth Webster, and Bo Falk, and those 3 guys have all been here 5, and I've been here 4. It's my 4th, and so we all pretty much know what Coach Tiv expects out of us and what he expects out of the team, and it's easy for us to show the younger guys the ropes, and it's quicker for them to pick up on things.
We have Seth Webster back, we have Patrick Shreve back, who's our Saturday starter, our number 2, and Michael Wisecarver's back, but we also have Brad DeLotte and Donnie White back. So I'm excited about our pen, and I'm excited about our starters on the mound. We can do some really good things on the mound this year, but we got to play defense, number 1, and we have to stay healthy, number 2. And if we can do those things, we're going to be where we want to be at the end of the season.
Despite the Colonels overcoming many obstacles last season, the team is garnering little respect. Again, predicted to finish in the bottom half of the preseason polls, Nicholls is determined to prove their doubters wrong.
The only thing that preseason polls do is just excite people that are in the top half of them. That really doesn't do a whole lot for us. It's going to make us play with a chip on our shoulder. I don't like being disrespected, and I know our players don't. We don't do it. We don't make a big deal. If we'd have been picked first in our league, we still wouldn't make a big deal out of it, because no one that makes these polls can actually step out on the field and play the game. So we don't do a whole lot with preseason polls. We just let it kind of make us more hungry. And like I said, if we were picked first, we'd feel the same way. But maybe since we got disrespected after our run last year, that maybe it's time for our guys to prove that we are something. Because our goals are big. Our goals are never to come out 11th in the league, and it is a slap in the face. But it's going to make us play with a chip on our shoulder for sure.
Senior pitcher Seth Webster finds the polls serve as a catalyst for the team to build on.
It's motivating in a way, but in a way we don't really care about it. And it's all based off of last year anyway. It's all based off, or not just last year, the previous years before that, and that's part of being a program that's rebuilding. You don't expect to be picked at the top of the pack, but we understand that, and like I said, we don't really put too much stock into it.
Webster returns as the favorite for Conference Pitcher of the Year honors. A preseason first-team All-Southland honoree, Webster again anchors the weekend rotation and perfectly fits the mold of what Thibodeau looks for in his players.
Seth had a tremendous year, but I'm not surprised because, Seth has an unbelievable work ethic, and he's a competitor. He's a fierce competitor, and he loves to win, and he loves to do things the right way. He fits the Colonel way, that, like I was stating earlier. But I'm not surprised with any success that he has because of his talents and his work ethic, and he's intense, and he trains that way. And the way he trains and the way he works is the way he plays, and that's why he has success. I mean, he's a really good leader, and I envision our guys wanting to be like him, and I envision future players wanting to be like Seth Webster because of what he's done. But, we're not asking Seth to do what he did last year. We're excited about his accomplishments, but we want him to continue to give us a chance to win. That's not our goals for him, is to throw in seven complete games, shutouts, or anything like that. We just want Seth to give us a chance to win, and he knows that, and he will trade any preseason accolade for us to win a Southland Conference championship.
Webster put himself in elite company in 2011, becoming the first Colonel to be named first-team All-Southland Conference since Bubba Bell in 2005. The fact that his accomplishment came following a 2-year absence while recovering from a torn labrum makes it all the more impressive. However, he acknowledges his teammates for his success.
It was pretty humbling, I would say, and it wasn't just me. It was, if I didn't have the catcher that I had last year, it would have been tough for that to happen. And if I didn't have the type of defense that I had last year, it would have been tough. So it was exciting for me, and like I said, it was kind of humbling having to come back from the surgery that I had, and then last year having the type of season that I had. It was really exciting, but like I said, I couldn't have done it without the catcher that I had or the defense behind me.
As the club looks to turn the corner and implant themselves into the upper echelon of the league, Thibodeau expresses that their potential success will hinge on their ability to follow the program's game plan, outworking the competition and taking pride in everything they do.
We don't want to concern ourselves with anything anybody else does. With any other team, they can do what they want. We want teams to try to keep up with us, and that's a goal we set when we first got here. And I don't care what, and I'm not going to name any schools, but I don't care what anyone else does, because if we feel like if we play our game and do things the Colonel way, that we're going to be successful, regardless of who we're playing, regardless if we're playing University of North Carolina or a small school in California. We feel like if we stick to our plan and do our thing and worry about ourselves and do things the Colonel way, we're always going to be successful. What is the Colonel way? The Colonel way is doing everything right all the time, and just absolutely being a grinder and being a hard-nosed, hard-working guy that's going to do everything he can for his brother to be successful.
The Colonel's season is in full swing, with the team opening up this weekend with a series at Southern Miss. Their home opener is slated for this Tuesday evening at 6:30 against Southern University. For This Week in Nicholls Athletics, I'm Ashley Bull.
Thank you very much, Ashley. When we come back, we'll tell you about some changes for the Colonels football team, and we'll chat with women's basketball star Sumar Leslie. Stay with us.
There goes Dwayne's car. There goes Dwayne's house. And there goes Dwayne.
Man, that thing does not like Dwayne.
State Farm's got you covered.
In Thibodaux, call Doug Robichaux. And in Luling, call Keith Davis.
Get to a better state.
Head football coach Charlie Stubbs saw a little turnover to his coaching staff going into his second year, but heading into next season, his staff will feature some new faces. 3 coaches from the previous campaign voluntarily left Nicholls to pursue other job opportunities.
Former offensive line coach Keith Uparesa accepted a position in his home state of Hawaii. Ex-graduate assistant Mario Gabriel becomes his successor. Defensive line coach Dustin Gisclair continues his career at Missouri Southern. Tyler Donaldson from Louisiana Monroe fills that position. Tight ends coach Adam Gardner stepped away to explore other opportunities. Matt Clark, also a former member of the Warhawk staff, replaces him. Coach Stubbs believes he hired the right men for the job.
First of all, with Mario, Coach Mario Gabriel, he was an offensive graduate assistant the last 2 years, so I always use the term he's been on a job interview with me for 2 years. So I've got to kind of mold him to what I'm looking for. He's everything I am looking for right now. He coaches with a lot of energy. The players respect him. Then Tyler Donaldson, our new defensive line coach, he brings in a lot of energy too and expertise. He was an excellent football player at University of New Mexico, and so he's actually done it, and that helps. And again, he comes with nothing but great recommendations. And then Coach Matt Clark comes in. Again, a lot of very good experience. He originally came out of the, at least initially, he went to the Air Force Academy. So again, he's been around athletics his whole life. Matt was a tight end, so again, that helps.
South Louisiana's unique culture attracted Donaldson to Nicholls. Gabriel feels that he has his dream job because of his love for football and desire to develop others. Clark's mission is to refine and master the nuances of the tight end position.
One philosophy that I've always been around is everything with class, no excuses. And I take that as on the field, off the field, in the community, and everything. And I want my players to do everything in top class, top performance, everything the best they can.
Well, the first thing with the kids, I want to be firm but fair with them. There's a lot of different personalities. There's a lot of different age groups. It's a big group to work for, to work with. But the biggest thing is to ensure that they communicate and that I hold them accountable. I'll love them all the same, and I look forward to the development, but I'll be firm and I'll be fair with each and every one of them.
Well, I'm excited because these guys, this is a good group of guys that I've got, and I want to be upbeat with them all the time. I want to be fair with them, firm. I want things done the right way, the way we're going to do it.
Donaldson, Gabriel, and Clark plan on using their encouraging, heartening style of coaching to fashion the Colonels into a more physical team.
One thing that I've watched I haven't watched so much film yet, but one thing I've seen is that we got to be able to change from a run technique to a pass rush. We got to be able to convert into a pass rush once we find out it's a pass and get that done so we can get more pressure on the quarterback.
Just focusing on my role. My role is to coach the offensive line, to make sure that they're doing the best they can possibly do, making sure they're prepared for every situation we put them in.
Well, I want this group to be the best group of tight ends in the Southland Conference. I think we've got the talent to do it. Obviously, Nick Scelfo was second team All-Southland last year. We want to improve on that with not only him, but with everybody else in the group. And I think that, we want to be, first and foremost, a dominant blocking group.
Stubbs' tweaked coaching staff allows him to immediately gain perspective on how his new personnel affect the team moving forward. The newcomers have multiple off-the-field assignments during the off-season.
Well, the biggest thing right now is continuity. We right now have a lot of our coaching staff at this level. Usually you have a little bit more turnover than we've experienced the last 2 years. So I'm able to get them in here right now, because right now we have our strength and conditioning program going full steam ahead. We're getting all of our duties, extra duties that each of the coaches are assigned, getting those all in place.
Actually, right now I'm also in charge of walk-ons. So getting walk-on meeting ready, and we're going to put a big old thing on the internet website saying that, when we're going to have a walk-on meeting, so people from the school can come and if they want to try out for the team and everything. And I'm in charge of all of that.
Actually, I'm going to be the academic liaison also. Coach Stubbs and I talked about that yesterday, and it'll free up some of the other guys on the staff, and it's a good opportunity for me to be involved with the rest of our team, not just my position group and all the guys, and helping them make sure they're eligible and got their school stuff and their study hall and all that squared away. So I'm looking forward to that.
Stubbs also elevated running backs coach Chuck Hepola to associate head coach and defensive coordinator Jeremy Atwell to the assistant head coaching position. Now that the football staff is assembled, the team can look ahead to spring practice, which kicks off in a month. For This Week in Nicholls Athletics, I'm Philip Boudreau.
Thank you very much, Philip. We appreciate it. We're joined here now on the set by the star guard of the Colonel women's basketball team, Sumar Leslie. It's so good to have you here.
Good to see you, too.
You're a little under the weather right now,
yeah,
fighting through it, though?
Just a little, it's no problem.
Another obstacle to overcome. That's all it is, right?
That's all it is.
You're putting together such a terrific season. 16 points plus a game, over 5 rebounds, nearly 4 assists, 2.5 steals. We kind of caught a glimmer of what this was going to be like before you injured your hand last season. But this is off the charts right now. How are you putting it together?
Well, it's all due to summer workouts and, preparing before the season even comes. Like, I knew that my hand wasn't, where it should be, but I took that and, that ball of negativity and I made it into something positive, and now I'm just trying to work harder than ever. So that's what I'm doing.
This has been a pretty amazing year for the Nicholls women's basketball team, and the program doesn't have the history that other programs do. The best record of all time was 14-14.
Absolutely.
You guys are on the verge of making history right now.
Absolutely.
Do you talk about it at all, or do you just kind of take care of business day to day?
Well, you have to take care of business day to day. It's all about making history every day. We have to leave behind what we've done. I mean, once you get, once you do something, then that's it. We move on to the next. So that's what's most important about this team. We can't be so entitled to what we've done. Every day you can do something better, so that's our focus.
You've had a little time off now. You've faced Lamar last week. It was an off night for you and an off night for the team. But the way this season has gone, it just looked like in the second half you just didn't have your legs under you. A great time for a week off.
Absolutely. Well, every game is different. I mean, I wasn't expecting the game to go that way, but every game is different. And what I plan to do is bounce back the next game, and we're going to take it from there.
Colonels now have a UTSA on the schedule today, a very winnable game.
Yes.
Tough matches against Central Arkansas and McNeese.
Yes.
Winnable game against Northwestern State, and then you got your rivals Southeastern on the final day of the regular season. So the schedule is favorable now. It looks like you have a shot not only to make the conference tournament, I think we're almost past it at this point, but a shot for a terrific seed as well.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So the Colonels right now sitting pretty in the Southland Conference standings. What's going to be the goal here over the next few weeks team-wise?
Over the next few weeks team-wise, it's going to be important for us to come together as a team, forget about the losses that what we've had, and our focus is going to have to be on working hard at practice, working together, and knowing what's ahead of us. It's important as a team to know what's ahead and for us to work together and just, come together. This is the time right now. If any time needs to be right now for us to pull together and work hard and just, look forward to what we have in front of us and go from there.
I've heard people in the community, not just the student body, but folks out in the community who've had a chance to watch your team once or twice this year say, I'm really impressed. This is a fun team to watch. Not just that they're winning, but they're fun to watch. Why do you think that is?
I love this team. It's fun to watch because we have unity. I feel like we work together. not only on the court but off the court, which is very important. And you know, we know what we have and where we're trying to go and where we're going to go. So I mean, we come with the energy at practice. Even when we're off the court, we have energy. You know, we love each other. So when we get on the court, we know we take it out on the other team, and that's what it's about. So it's a pleasure to have people coming to the game. We have more people coming to the games this year, which is a blessing. So yeah, we're doing it.
I think what separates this team from maybe prior squads, the number of weapons. Three double-figure scores right now.
Right.
Got some good rebounders as well. Everybody who comes into the game is a threat to do something good right now.
Right, absolutely, absolutely.
Colonel's taking on UTSA, 1 o'clock this afternoon. What's the game plan heading in?
Game plan is just to work hard, be who we are, and do what we do.
Summer, thank you so much. Keep up the great work.
You too. Thank you.
Sumar Leslie, candidate for Player of the Year in the Southland Conference. Folks, want to remind you, tickets are available for all remaining men's and women's home basketball games. Give us a call, 985-448-4790. That number again, 985-448-4790. You can also log on to Ticketmaster.com and purchase your tickets right there online. The women will take on UTSA this afternoon at 1. The men's game will follow against IUPUI in a bracket buster game at 3:30. So if you're in the Thibodaux area, make sure you stop by Stouffer Gym and support both the men's and women's teams as they make a run to the conference tournament in Katy, Texas. All the information you need to follow Nicholls Athletics is available on our official website, GEAUX.GoColonels.com. Check it out every single day. For Ashley Bull, Philip Boudreau, and our special guest, Sumar Leslie, I'm Mike Wagenheim. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll talk to you again next Saturday on This Week in Nicholls Athletics, presented by State Farm Insurance.
Today's show has been brought to you by State Farm Insurance. Contact your local State Farm agent today and get to a better state with State Farm Insurance. This has been a presentation of the Colonel Sports Network.